Hello and welcome to today's video. I'd like to thank Solbio for actually supporting this channel. And Solbio is a completely natural toilet fluid. It can be also used in the waste tank. It's environmentally friendly as it's made from completely natural ingredients. So if you'd like to know more about this product, there'll be more at the end of the current video, and there will be links below. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Fulda. In this video I'm going to take you through the 4 most expensive vehicles which are at this event. It's called Camper and Vans. This is the very first edition of it, and so to start this up, 4th position, 4th most expensive van, which is here, is this one, which is directly in front of me now. There's a bit of a crowd around it. This is the Heimer Venture S. You're looking at £250,000. In fact, this version here is even slightly more expensive than that. This is a vehicle which was introduced on the 26th of August 2022, and they've got an exact day for the introduction of it, so it's brand new at the time I'm doing this. Which is in the middle of September, so this vehicle, 620 centimeters long. It's on a on a Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 basis. It's got a huge amount of new technology in it, which you can see on the video, which said it's separately for it. You can see it's got this big tent in the roof from the German company Exclu. It's which is an insulated pneumatic roof tent, so that goes up in about 3 minutes. It blows up also the mattress which is inside, and it is insulated. Unfortunately, it hasn't been insulated on all sides, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but other than, I'm sure it could be if they wanted to do so. So when this was introduced as a concept vehicle in 2019, it got a huge amount of interest, and so now it's actually been brought out as a vehicle, and so this is what it actually looks like. So it's a cooperation between various companies, including Hymer, Mercedes and BASF. So the idea also was to put insulating materials on the vehicle, which came from BASF. Inside it looks really unusual, most unusual for a vehicle of this nature. Anyway, you're going to have to see that in the video on this one. So that's €250,000 for one of these. So that is the 4th most expensive vehicle at this event, and as you can see, there's a bit of a queue to get into it. Now we're going to see the 3rd and the 2nd most expensive vehicles, because they are next to each other. Let's come down and see them right now. This is the Morello Loft. This is a extremely luxurious motorhome inside. It's been on the market for a number of years, but in my opinion it just keeps getting better and better. For this you're looking at around €1/3 and it's on a basis of a Iveco, and although you can't see that from here because Morello makes the entire exterior by itself. And so you can of course see this in a more detailed video. So that is the 3rd most expensive vehicle, and the number 2, although this vehicle should really be disqualified because it's not actually for sale, it's a private vehicle, but it's this one here, the Morello Palace, which is an absolutely incredibly attractive vehicle. You can see it's got a car garage at the back. It's for this you're looking at around €500,000, perhaps even more. Thing is, I can't say because I don't know what the equipment levels are like inside, and this is the problem with RVs in general. We can't say, when people say, what's the cost? And think, well, I don't know. How much would it cost me? I don't know what you want. And from then, when I know what you want, I can sort of make a guess. But this is really hit the ultra high end, I think, of series built. I'll say mass produced, not really mass produced, because they're produced on a production line, unlike some of the really sort of super expensive stuff, which is sort of just made in a garage and put together like that. So on a production line, this is just about the most expensive motorhome in Europe. So what do you think the most expensive vehicle here is? Now, I should have a competition to ask and let people decide before actually going to show you, but unfortunately it's a video. So whilst I'm walking over, why don't you have a quick think about it? What do you think the most expensive vehicle at this event could be, and how much is it going to cost? Okay, I'm going to take you right now to the one which will set you back the most if you decide that you wanted it. So just say one or two words about this event here. This is the first time this event's been held here in Fulda over 4 days in the middle of September. So it's really convenient for me because it's just under 2 weeks after Dusseldorf Caravan Salon ends. And so I'm now coming to the most expensive vehicle here. Could it be this Etrusco? No. What about this one here? I mean, this looks quite good. Now you've got something like that, these old Mercedes. I can't tell from the outside how old it is. I'm sure somebody would know, but something like that. If it's equipped inside, you're looking at 40, 45, maybe 50,000 euros for something like that. Despite the fact the vehicle is 40 years old, approximately. No, but the most expensive vehicle here is this one. This is the Dingo. It is a armoured vehicle, and the reason why it's here, it's because here we have the German army is doing some recruitment, and they brought with them this armoured personnel carrier, the Dingo. Something like this will cost 1 million euros. It comes with, in this, it's just over 6 meters, about 620 centimeters long, if I remember rightly, and it has seating inside. You can carry 6 people in here with weapons, although, and you also got more space here, storage for more weapons. It comes, this one hasn't got it, but it has up at the top there is a machine gun, but this one has it removed, and you won't fire the machine gun from inside, from here. There's a big screen. They're taking the screen out because they're taking the weapon systems out, but so the firer is completely protected, and vision's provided by a periscope. There you're going to have a look what it looks like in here. Something like this. Yeah, 1 million, depends on the options taken. You might get a cheap one at 600,000 euros, but it's on a Mercedes chassis. It was originally built on a different chassis, but the Daimler stopped producing them, so now it's on a Unimog chassis. Snorkel equipment. It burns 35 litres to 100 kilometres. And came out originally at the end of the 90s, or it was ordered at the end of the 90s. This is the Dingo 2. It's been on the go now for about 12 years, but it keeps on getting upgraded. The armour itself is enough to stop 7.62 armour-piercing rounds, but obviously not if it got fired at by even with an RPG-7, then that wouldn't stop it. The armour's not that good. That is the most expensive vehicle at this event. So it was a bit of a trick question that I asked, and you know what, as I think about it, there's another Morello, which isn't for sale, but that one there would cost not a lot less than the first, the Heimer Venture S that we saw, and so that could have had the top 5. I was only going to the top 3, so it sort of got a bit extended. Anyway, like all my questions, all my competitions, it was a trick question at the beginning, but of course you couldn't know that the German army was here showing this dingo. Incidentally, 25 of these are now off to Ukraine, or maybe they've arrived already, but it was just announced last week, so there you have it. The dingo armoured car. There was also, incidentally, was a dingo during the Second World War, which was used by the British Army, which I think was a sort of a fast patrol vehicle as well. Good. Thanks for watching. Hope you found that interesting, and more trick questions can be found on this channel from time to time, but for the moment it's all the best from me in Germany. This is the first time ever that I have accepted any support for promoting a product on YouTube. Now, I've been on YouTube now for 15 years, and I've been doing the van life stuff for a number of years as well. The reason I haven't accepted support in the past is because I felt it had to be something which I really agreed with, and a product I knew. So I had to feel 100% about recommending it to others. This is Solbio, and this is a toilet additive. Now, what's the point of a toilet additive? Well, when you use the toilet, then it goes into a cassette, and you have to dump the cassette somewhere. Now, if you just urinate into it, then there should be no problem. But if you put any solids into it, then it makes it a bit more difficult. Now, one thing you can do is if you have constant diarrhea, then you may not need a toilet additive, because you should be able to dump it without any problems. For those of you who don't suffer from this problem, then one thing you might want to consider doing, in fact, one thing you're going to have to consider doing, is using a toilet additive. Now, there's two types. There's the blue stuff, which is manufactured by a number of companies, and it works pretty well. No problems there whatsoever with the way it works. Oh, there's the green stuff, which is ecologically based. Now, up until now, the green stuff didn't work as well as the blue stuff, but I think with Solbio, we're now seeing a comparative working rate. It works just as well. So it's ecological. What it's got inside are natural soaps, it's got natural citric acid, it's got essential oils and plant extracts, and that breaks down whatever it is that you're throwing into the toilet, or releasing into the toilet, I should say. And when you come to a dump station, you can just tip up your cassette and it all flows in nicely. Now, you may say, well, I have constant diarrhea, and so therefore I don't need something like that. Well, that may be the case, but one thing that this has got, it's got a rather pleasant fragrance to it as well. Now, I personally like the fragrance of the blue stuff, but I know I'm in a small minority on that one. One thing I noticed when I've been doing tests of really small vehicles, such as 5.5 meter ones above all, so as soon as you open the door, you have this fragrance, let's say, of the blue stuff sort of hits you. Now, with this one here, Solbio, it's got a more natural sort of smell. It's a bit like eucalyptus. I'm trying to find a good way of actually describing it, and the best thing I could think of, it's got these cough drops, or these eucalyptus like sweets, and it's got this type of fragrance within the toilet anyway. And if you're in a small van, I bet it could fill up the small van. I haven't really noticed it sort of when I'm sitting here in this position, for example, but maybe I'm not using enough of it to actually notice. Next thing is it safe to use? Well, the thing with the blue stuff is there are good reasons to suggest that it may not be completely safe to use. I mean, it does break things down in a chemical manner. I mean, I'm not going to suggest it's dangerous or anything like that, but I don't think it is particularly good for the environment. If it comes into contact with plants or things of this nature, I mean, there's warnings that, I mean, if you get it in a fish tank or something like that, I don't know why you want to put it in a fish tank, but if you put it in the fish tank, then the fish will die. So this, as it comes from natural things, you assume that it's okay. Now the blue stuff as well, I've noticed I always get it on my hands. And not only that, I mean, obviously I sort of miss the toilet as well. Sorry, I get it into the toilet bowl. I don't miss the toilet, I miss the sort of the hole where you open up for the toilet. And it sort of stains, and it takes a few flushes for it to actually go down. I don't know if that's bad or not, but it's with this stuff, it's almost translucent. Not quite, but almost. As is when you dump it out, which seems a bit odd the first time. You think, hang on just a minute, I'm sure I didn't just urinate in there. But that's the way it is. The manufacturers say it doesn't cause skin irritation. I have never experienced skin irritation from the blue stuff, but I have heard of people having this problem. And let's have another look at it, because here it comes in two. One's for marine use and the other's for motorhome use. Now it could be that mariners use the toilet or they eat something a bit more dodgy, or I don't know, but it's different. This contains 40 doses, and it's dosed via this thing down here, this little tap. Now I know there are people who are suspect of these taps. Now I previously worked in the packaging industry, and indeed I used to give talks being an expert. I don't think I was much of an expert, but I do know a little bit about it. This technology is perfectly safe, I think, to use. It's not, I mean, it's often used in bag-in-the-box applications, and so you get wine or something. The wine's in a box, and it got this tap that sticks out, and you use it. In the company I used to work, where we produced blueberry juice, we used this technology, and I've never known the taps to go wrong in my direct experience. But when they first came out, I agree there was problems with them. I've heard of people saying they put something in the fridge, or they in the van and something hit here. In theory, you're supposed to knock both ends down at this. Oh, sorry, pull them both up and press down at the same time to get it to work. So I mean, I do accept that these things can go wrong. Just as, I mean, if you don't close a bottle properly, everything will go out. But I make that part. Other than that, the bag may seem a little unsturdy because of the way it is. But I can tell it's made from recycled. It's green plastic. It's I think it's quite safe. So there's some observations on this, and as far as I'm concerned, I really do think it is a good solution for you. Now, it costs roughly the same as the blue stuff. There isn't much difference. Now, I do appreciate that if there was a price difference, that might be a problem. Although, I think if you're into motorhomes, then you probably like living in harmony with nature, which is what I'm in it for, really. I think it's the call of nature, this contact with nature and all the rest of it. So I think that protecting nature is something that I would want to do. Whether or not I'm prepared to pay a premium, yes, maybe I'm prepared to pay a little bit of a premium for it, but in all honesty, between this one and the blue stuff, there's hardly any difference. Right, so if you find that of interest, there will be a link below. It's not an affiliate link, it just tells you where to get the stuff from. I'm not on any affiliate programs at all, deliberately, so nobody can accuse me of trying to promote something to get the affiliate link. But I do absolutely believe in this product. So, thanks very much for watching. I am currently at a place called Alexa Camping, or Camping Alexa, in northern Poland. And you may have heard some of the noises on the outside from the campsite. But I shall tell you more about that in another video. So, there you go. This is about Solbio. Thanks for watching.